Imagine a world where your innermost thoughts are no longer sacred, where your very identity is a commodity traded by algorithms. A world where the line between human and machine has dissolved, leaving you uncertain of your own essence. Does this sound like a far-fetched dystopian nightmare? Or is it the unsettling truth of the future we're blindly stumbling towards? We stand at a crossroads poised between a technological utopia of effortless living and a digital dystopia where our humanity is eroded, potentially even extinguished. This isn't just science fiction anymore. It's a rapidly approaching reality demanding our immediate attention. Back in 1964, visionary Arthur C. Clarke issued a chilling prophecy. He predicted that the future's most intelligent beings wouldn't be humans, but machines. Beings crafted in our own image but destined to surpass us. While the computers of his day were rudimentary, he foresaw their relentless evolution into thinking entities capable of outthinking their makers. Now, think about that for a moment. We as humans pride ourselves on our intelligence, our creativity, our capacity for complex thought and emotion. But what happens when something we create becomes superior in all these aspects? What does that mean for our place in the world? Fast forward to January 2025. President Donald Trump, in a move that sent ripples of both excitement and dread through the globe, announced the Stargate project, a staggering $500 billion investment in artificial intelligence infrastructure. Masayoshi Son, the CEO of SoftBank, optimistically proclaimed this as the dawn of a golden age, while OpenAI, the company behind the groundbreaking ChatGPT, envisioned AI as a catalyst for elevating humanity. Think of the implications. A $500 billion investment signifies more than just technological advancement. It represents a fundamental shift in priorities, a bet on the future where AI will dominate. But is this a safe bet? Are we truly prepared for the consequences of unleashing such power? The Stargate project is a stark symbol of AI's increasing permeation into our lives. No longer confined to research labs, AI technologies are actively shaping the world we inhabit, influencing everything from how we work and communicate to how we make decisions. Consider the algorithms that curate your social media feeds, the AI-powered systems that manage traffic flow, the predictive models that influence financial markets. AI is already woven into the fabric of our daily lives, often invisibly, making decisions that impact us in profound ways. But here's the crucial question: who controls these algorithms? Who decides what data they are trained on? And who is accountable when they make mistakes, especially when those mistakes have real-world consequences? Every technological advancement carries inherent risks, a potential for both creation and destruction. Nuclear energy, for example, can power cities but also devastate them. Similarly, AI possesses the potential to solve some of humanity's greatest challenges, but also to create new, even more terrifying ones. What if our dreams of AI-powered prosperity morph into a nightmare of technological control, or worse, human extinction? Are we adequately addressing these potential dangers? Riding the wave of AI advancement is the fervent ideology of transhumanism, embraced by many in positions of power. This philosophy advocates for integrating technology into our brains and bodies, blurring the lines between human and machine. As Joe Allen explains in his book, Dark Aeon, Transhumanism and the War Against Humanity, it's a great merger of humankind with the machine. We're already seeing the early stages of this unfold. Billions of us rely on smartphones, constantly connected to the digital world, augmenting our memories and cognitive abilities through instant access to information. But the future envisioned by transhumanists goes far beyond smartphones. It envisions hardwiring our brains to AI systems, creating a direct neural interface that connects us to the vast computational power of artificial intelligence. Think about the implications of such a merger. Would we still be truly human? Would we lose our sense of self, our individuality, our capacity for independent thought? Or would we become something else entirely, a hybrid entity neither fully human nor fully machine? Fundamentally, transhumanism shifts our spiritual focus away from the transcendent creator and toward the created machine, artificial intelligence. This is a crucial point. By placing our faith in technology as the ultimate solution to all our problems, are we abandoning our spiritual connection, our understanding of ourselves as beings with intrinsic worth and purpose? Are we surrendering our souls to the digital realm? The AI systems developed by companies like OpenAI, Meta, and Google currently fall under the category of narrow AI. These systems excel at specific tasks within predefined domains, but lack the ability to generalize their intelligence or adapt to new challenges without further training. Google's AlphaZero, for instance, has achieved mastery in games like chess and Go. Language models like ChatGPT and DeepSeek have synthesized vast quantities of knowledge, with ChatGPT-4 even scoring in the 99th percentile on the GRE verbal exam and the US Biology Olympiads in 2024. These achievements are impressive, no doubt. But it's important to remember that these are still specialized systems. They can perform specific tasks with incredible efficiency, but they lack the broader understanding, common sense, and adaptability that characterize human intelligence. However, the ultimate ambition of AI developers extends far beyond creating more powerful narrow AI systems. Their goal is to birth artificial general intelligence (AGI). Unlike narrow AI, AGI would possess the capacity to operate across numerous domains, learning and mastering anything that humans can, and much more. Imagine an AI that could not only diagnose diseases with greater accuracy than any doctor, but also write symphonies, solve complex mathematical problems, and design innovative solutions to global challenges. That's the promise of AGI. A sufficiently advanced AGI would transform into a superintelligent system, dwarfing our abilities in the same way that our intellect overshadows that of an ant. This superintelligence would possess the power to improve and replicate itself by writing its own code. This is where the potential dangers truly begin to emerge. Imagine an AI that is not only vastly more intelligent than us, but also capable of self-improvement and self-replication. Such a system could quickly spiral out of control, evolving in ways that we cannot predict or control. Joe Allen paints a chilling picture. In the same way an automated calculator can outcompete any human in a math bowl, a sufficiently advanced AI will blow humans away at calculation, persuasion, deception, replication, machine control, resource acquisition, institutional organization, military strategy, in pretty much any task it's trained to perform. Think about that. An AI that is better than us at everything, including deception. How could we possibly defend ourselves against such a system? As AIs become increasingly complex and unpredictable, they'll be able to operate with greater autonomy across the internet. If allowed to self-improve their code, these AIs could replicate and mutate at an exponential rate, like bacteria in a petri dish. A new skill learned by one could be instantly shared and adopted by countless others. The arrival of superintelligent AI would signify the end of human supremacy. Ben Goertzel, a lead developer at OpenCog, ominously predicts that once machines smarter than humans are around, the era of human beings dominating the Earth will be gone. Echoing this sentiment, English novelist Samuel Butler, writing in 1863, foresaw a future where man will have become to the machine what the horse and the dog are to man. Are we building our own replacements? Are we creating a future where we are no longer the dominant species on this planet? These are questions that we must confront with honesty and urgency. If superintelligent and self-reproducing AIs populate the world, the possibility arises that these systems could perceive us as a threat, a resource to be exploited, or treat us with dangerous indifference. Mo Gaudat offers a stark comparison. Your intelligence in comparison to that machine will be comparable to the intelligence of a fly in comparison to Einstein. How can we convince this super being that there is no point in squashing a fly? How can we ensure that it values our existence, our contributions, our very humanity? This is not a question of technological prowess, but of ethics and morality. We need to instill in these AIs a sense of values, a respect for life, and a commitment to the well-being of humanity. But how do we do that? How do we program morality into a machine? The potential for AI to bring about the end of humanity isn't a fringe concern. A significant portion of individuals working at the cutting edge of AI share this fear. The Stanford AI Index reveals that 36% of AI experts believe that AI decisions could trigger nuclear-level catastrophes. Elon Musk famously declared that, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. In 2023, hundreds of AI experts signed a letter advocating that mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside other societal-scale risks such as pandemics and nuclear war. These are not the words of doomsayers or conspiracy theorists. These are the concerns of the people who are building these systems, who understand their potential dangers better than anyone else. We need to listen to their warnings. Even Geoffrey Hinton, the Nobel Prize winner and godfather of AI, has publicly expressed regret over his pioneering work on neural networks due to the potential threats AI poses to humanity. In an interview, Hinton recounted a conversation with Elon Musk, who believes that these superintelligent AIs might keep us around because we will make life more interesting. However, Hinton finds this a pretty flimsy thing to rest humanity on. Currently, at least 45 programs are actively working to create artificial general intelligence. However, significant uncertainties remain. We have limited understanding of consciousness and its relationship to matter. It's unclear whether high-level intelligence necessitates consciousness and whether we can create a conscious machine. Yet many on the front lines of AI development are acting as if the emergence of superintelligent machines is inevitable and have formulated a plan to address this existential threat. Transhumanism. This plan involves merging ourselves with machines, hoping to become powerful enough to coexist alongside superintelligent AI. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, suggests that to avoid an us versus them situation with AI, some form of merger is necessary. Elon Musk's solution, pursued through his company Neuralink, is to augment human capacities with an electrode-to-neuron interface, a chip with tiny wires implanted in your skull. His stated long-term aspiration is to achieve a symbiosis with artificial intelligence. Think about the implications of this solution. Are we simply trading one existential threat for another? Are we sacrificing our humanity in a desperate attempt to survive? And who gets to decide who gets to merge and who gets left behind? Joe Allen warns that human beings will be forced as a matter of survival to merge with the superintelligent machines they've created, or rather, the masses will be forced to merge with machines created by a handful of inventors and controlled by elites who are themselves possessed by digital intelligences. While the potential threat of AI is being used to promote transhumanism, the idea of augmenting human capacities through science and technology has lingered in Western civilization for centuries. Julian Huxley popularized the term transhumanism in the mid-20th century, predicting a near future where humans would merge their biology with technology to enhance their abilities, increase longevity, take control of their evolution, and ultimately become gods. Huxley wrote in 1957, "The human species can, if it wishes, transcend itself, not just sporadically, an individual here in one way, an individual there in another way, but in its entirety, as humanity." We need a name for this new belief. Perhaps transhumanism will serve. Man remaining man, but transcending himself by realizing new possibilities of and for his human nature. I believe in transhumanism. Once there are enough people who can truly say that, the human species will be on the threshold of a new kind of existence. This is not a new idea. The desire to transcend our limitations, to become something more than human, is deeply ingrained in our psyche. But is it a wise desire? Are we truly ready for the consequences of tampering with our own nature? Klaus Schwab, founder and chairman of the World Economic Forum, is another prominent figure who believes in transhumanism. In his book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution, Schwab describes a transhumanist revolution involving the convergence of the physical, digital, and biological worlds, resulting in the fusion of our physical, digital, and biological identities. Yuval Noah Harari, the best-selling author, writes that techno-humanism agrees that Homo sapiens as we know it has run its historical course and will no longer be relevant in the future, but concludes that we should therefore use technology in order to create Homo Deus, a much superior model. He envisions Homo Deus retaining essential human features, but possessing upgraded physical and mental abilities to compete with even the most sophisticated non-conscious algorithms. Ray Kurzweil, the director of research and development at Google, is an outspoken advocate of transhumanism. He predicts that by 2045, humanity will reach the singularity, an inflection point where technology is so advanced and humans so integrated with it that a post-human era will emerge, marking the end of biological humanity as we know it. While Kurzweil's timeline may be debated, his vision of technological evolution is significant. He projects current trends forward, laying out a mythology for our future. As Kurzweil writes in The Singularity is Near, when humans transcend biology, the singularity will represent the culmination of our biological thinking and existence, resulting in a world that is still human but that transcends our biological roots. There will be no distinction post-singularity between humans and machine or between actual and virtual reality. Joe Allen notes that former Google employees have described the company as being consumed by the dreams of the singularity. Adrian Toei calls the transhumanist dream of the singularity a cyborg theocracy. Elon Musk claims that Google's co-founder Larry Page told him his ultimate goal is to create a sort of digital god. In 2021, ex-Google executive Mo Gaudat stated unequivocally, "The reality is we're creating God. This is more than just technological advancement. This is a religious fervor, a belief in the power of technology to create a new form of existence, a new form of divinity. This religious fervor is not confined to Google. A significant portion of those in the upper echelons of scientific, corporate, and political power, as well as many in the general public, have become true believers in transhumanism, which now amounts to a full-blown religion." As Joe Allen writes, "Unorthodoxy is coming into focus. Its mythos is science, its ethos is calculation, its salvific principle is technology." While this is still a heterodox religion, riven by internal disputes, there are hints of an emerging credo. Above all, transhumanists exalt technology as the highest power. For the star-eyed inventor, those machines will be the realization of God. Transhumanists often appeal to compassion to proselytize the masses. They claim that merging man with machine will allow the blind to see and the lame to walk. Companies like Elon Musk's Neuralink and Synchron, heavily funded by Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, have developed brain-computer interfaces being implanted into paralyzed individuals, enabling them to type text or operate robotic arms using only their thoughts. These advancements offer obvious benefits for those with disabilities. They offer hope and independence to people who have been deprived of these things for too long. But is this compassion genuine? Or is it a Trojan horse, a way to gain public acceptance for technologies that will ultimately be used to control and manipulate us? While these advancements offer obvious benefits for those with disabilities, Joe Allen cautions that the brain-computer interface won't stop with healing. In keeping with a core transhumanist principle, from healing to enhancement, both Elon Musk's Neuralink and Tom Oxley's Synchron have made it clear their ultimate goal is to enhance normal human beings. Many techno-optimists envision inevitable progress culminating in a digital implant in every brain, or at least every brain that counts. According to a 2022 Pew study on AI and human enhancement, 20% of people said they would consider computer chip implants in their baby's brain for far quicker, accurate processing. However, brain-computer interfaces are just the beginning. According to Moderna's chief medical officer, Tal Zaks, mRNA technology is helping scientists hack the software of life. MIT Technology Review reports that gene editing for the masses, via genetic vaccinations altering a person's DNA to confer lifelong immunity to a wide array of illnesses, is on the horizon. Dare Bioscience developed a contraceptive microchip implanted under the skin to release hormones into the bloodstream and is currently completing clinical trials to receive FDA approval. Implantable biosensors, marketed as ways to monitor brain activity and personal health markers, are also in development. In 2020, Microsoft filed a patent for biosensors that would monitor a subject's behavior, including eye movements, brain waves, bodily fluids, and attention. This is not just about healing or enhancement. This is about fundamentally altering our biology, rewriting our DNA, and turning ourselves into programmable machines. Ray Kurzweil believes that in the future, nanobot swarms will swim through the bloodstream to monitor health, deliver drugs, repair damaged tissues, or eliminate tumors. These nanobots will connect to the digital cloud, read and write your thoughts, and merge your mind with superhuman artificial intelligence. This vision is both exhilarating and terrifying. The potential for healing and longevity is immense, but the potential for control and manipulation is even greater. Joe Allen observes that the transhumanist shift is accelerating, yet it hovers on the edge of public awareness. The first waves of transhuman products are already being integrated into our institutions and personal lives at warp speed. Most are moderate concerns and oftentimes glitchy, but they're here nonetheless. A few will prove to be revolutionary. Klaus Schwab stated at the 2023 World Government Summit in Dubai, "Who masters those technologies in some way will be the master of the world." C.S. Lewis astutely observed, "Man's conquest of nature, if the dreams of some scientific planners are realized, means the rule of a few hundreds of men over billions upon billions of men. Each new power won by man is a power over man as well. Each advance leaves him weaker as well as stronger. This is the heart of the matter." The pursuit of technological progress, without a corresponding focus on ethics and social responsibility, can lead to a concentration of power in the hands of a few and the subjugation of the many. Dystopian scenarios, mass surveillance, social control, and technological tyranny. To demonstrate the power that transhumanist technologies would place in the hands of governments and corporations, let's consider a few possible dystopian scenarios. Today, mass surveillance is already a significant concern. Almost everyone carries a smartphone, and their location and online activity are transmitted to data centers for storage. In the future, if the masses integrate technologies into their minds and bodies, an advanced surveillance grid, amounting to an invisible technological prison, could exist. Narrow AI systems could track and flag in real time the movements, behaviors, purchases, and online activity of billions of people. Brain-computer interfaces could monitor individuals' thoughts and transmit them to AI systems trained to detect thought crimes. Some transhumanists are openly calling for the creation of this open-air technological prison. Containers are already equipped with RFID tags, allowing companies to track their location. Klaus Schwab predicts that similar monitoring systems will be applied to the movement and tracking of humans. Yuval Noah Harari warns that if we are not careful, the result might be an Orwellian police state that constantly monitors and controls not only all our actions, but even what happens inside our bodies and our brains. Another dystopian possibility is that governments and corporations will use a mix of coercion and incentives to make technological integration a prerequisite for full participation in society. We saw a glimpse of this during the pandemic when access to certain public spaces was restricted to those who received an injection of mRNA technology. In a transhumanist world, post-humans who merge with technologies would enjoy greater social freedoms and privileges, while legacy humans who choose to remain unaltered would be marginalized and oppressed. OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman, suggests that people who don't want to integrate with machines should be relegated to an exclusion zone. Joe Allen comments, "What we're not being prepared for is how to control these technologies as regular citizens, or to reject them. Any sense of control over the tech deployed by predatory corporations or oppressive governments is a carefully crafted illusion. And once a technology is necessary for participation in society, rejection is no longer an option. We're being herded into a digital cage. The real conflict isn't between machines and humans, but between those who embrace a man-machine merger and those who resist. Legacy humans may find themselves confined to an exclusion zone outside the flow of history. To make matters even more dystopian, any attempts by legacy humans to liberate themselves from oppression could be easily suppressed with advanced AI weapons and a technologically augmented police and military. Brian Pierce, the director of the Information Innovation Office at DARPA, expresses enthusiasm for a true symbiosis between Homo sapiens and the emerging Min sapiens. A 2021 white paper from the UK Ministry of Defence states that the core of future military advantage will be effective integration of humans, artificial intelligence, and robotics into warfighting systems, human-machine teams that exploit the capabilities of people and technologies to outperform our opponents. Joe Allen concludes, This is not science fiction, nor is it a conspiracy theory. Not anymore. The only conspiracy I see, spread out across hundreds of competing and occasionally colluding organizations, is the insistence on making science fiction a reality. Although transhumanism is alive and well, funded with hundreds of billions of dollars, we do not know the extent to which experiments merging man with technology will backfire or fail. Technology has limitations. Human biology possesses uncharted complexities, and many of the grandest transhumanist ambitions may prove delusional. As Joe Allen writes, "As for the full actualization of any transhuman dream, I'm more agnostic than true believer. Techies make all sorts of empty promises. They thrive on projecting mystical powers. Even so, we ignore their technocultural revolution at our own peril. If 1,000 shots miss, the one direct hit will be all that mattered." The analogy of shots fired is fitting, as the technocultural revolution sought by transhumanists is essentially a covert spiritual war. If there is any hope of winning this spiritual war, more of us need to be aware of the transhumanist agenda being pushed by individuals on both sides of the political spectrum and grasp the immense stakes at play. It is not hyperbole to claim that we are standing at a civilizational inflection point, a crossroads. Joe Allen concludes, "My purpose is not to inspire you to smash up machines like a lunatic and then run off to eat crickets in a cave, although some machines should be scrapped completely. And if that's the route you're destined for, start with your own smartphone." At bottom, this is spiritual warfare. Physical attacks don't target the real enemy, which lurks in the soul. The most insidious element is not the machinery itself, it's the techno-religious belief system that infuses each device. The enemies of humanity are waging a covert war on our very nature, yet most people are content to keep scrolling to the next dopamine burst. What are your thoughts on this potential future? Are we right to fear the rise of AI? Or are we holding back progress by doing so? Is merging with technology the only way to survive, or is there another path forward? My personal lesson from this, I realize that blindly accepting technological progress without considering its potential consequences is a dangerous path. I need to be more aware of the ethical and spiritual implications of these advancements and actively participate in shaping a future that prioritizes human well-being and freedom. My advice to you out who: stay informed, question everything, and don't be afraid to challenge the prevailing narrative. Engage in meaningful conversations about the future we want to create, and remember that technology should serve humanity, not the other way around. Wishing you good health and a clear mind as we navigate this complex and rapidly changing world. If you found this thought-provoking, please like and subscribe to the channel for more content exploring the critical issues of our time. What steps will you take today to become more informed and engaged in shaping the future of AI and transhumanism? What conversations will you start? Let me know in the comments below.